John, as always, the great John, right? No, maybe not. And we got our guest with us, as always, Mr. Brandon Ackerman. I mean,
No.
Armstrong. My bad. Sometimes my mind gets twisted a little. I don't know why I was thinking you was married to one of them guys. No, you're not.
Oh my gosh, no. Thankfully, no.
Anyway, on a real note, Brandon, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing fantastic tonight as usual.
Good to have you. Good to have you on the show. My wife is. I don't know that she's not feeling good, but she's just relaxing in her chair. You okay, honey? She's just relaxing and listening. So she's in the background, just in case anybody wants to know. She is there. She is listening. I know you trolls like to.
I know the trolls just love to make up stories. So
love to make up stories about my wife has left me, or I'm getting a divorce, or But we love you,
just
trolls.
so hilarious.
Where would we be today without the trolls? You gotta remember, they are the prime light of the show, the spotlight.
Exactly.
Hoorah! Anyways, the next question is, I wonder how Jennifer Crumbley's doing today after the results of guilty, 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 guilty for involuntary manslaughter. Now,
I wonder how she's enjoying that steak food today.
The question people might be saying, what is the difference between voluntary and involuntary? Brandon, you want to answer that?
I believe voluntary is they knew that something was going to happen, and involuntary means they didn't know. I'm not sure. I'm actually not sure myself what the difference is.
Let me see if Google will give us the best description, because I don't want to mess it up either, but I'm going to tell you what it is. Hey, Google, what is the difference between voluntary manslaughter and involuntary manslaughter?
I don't know, but I found these results.
All right, let's do it this way. Helpful. Hey, Google, what is voluntary manslaughter?
According to Wikipedia, voluntary manslaughter is the killing of a human being in which the offender acted during the heat of passion, under circumstances that would cause a reasonable person to become emotionally or mentally disturbed to the point that they cannot reasonably control their emotions.
Okay, so that fits with what I was going to describe. I just want to make sure I describe it so people understand. So, voluntary means that, let's just say you was upset, Brandon, and you was at let's say you was at some kind of big gathering and you got upset,
right?
Because of the heat of the moment where people were maybe making fun of you. Hey, Google, shut up. People were making fun of you or bullying you or whatever, and you got emotionally involved into the moment, and you ended up killing somebody,
right?
Because you were angry with them, and you knew exactly what you was doing, but at the same time, you were so caught up with the emotion of it, you just didn't care. That would be voluntary. Involuntary is when you're not in the heat of the emotions, or the moment, right? The reason she's getting involuntary manslaughter, number one, she wasn't there when it happened. Okay, now if she had been there at the same time when he had done it, she could also got the exact same charges that he got. Now I don't know what his charges was. Did he get voluntary manslaughter?
I don't know what he got. I believe he got.
If anybody knows, throw it on the chat. If you're getting in later, whatever, that's fine too. But if you know, hold on.
Oh, we got JN2C watching. Good evening.
What?
We got JN2C watching.
Oh, okay. Jay, how you doing, buddy? I don't know what the son got actually. Do you, hun? Did he get murder? What did he get?
I think he got murder.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but so she got involuntary because number one, she wasn't there. That's the big part of it. She wasn't there when it happened. You can't say that I'm going to charge you with voluntary manslaughter if you're not even there when it happens,
Right.
right? That makes most sense. And listen, I'm not a lawyer, you guys. I don't know everything when it comes to law. There's still things that I've got to read up on sometime to refresh my memory. I mean, I know quite a bit, but not everything. Who knows everything besides God?
Yeah.
Anyways, involuntary manslaughter is what she got charged with today. And I would like to get other people's opinion on why do you think that she ended up getting charged guilty for for involuntary manslaughter. I would like to know your opinions. Brandon, let's go to you for a minute. And looking at the charges, how do you feel about it?
I don't know, honestly, because yes. Oh, I was gonna say, what is that?
The dryer just buzzed you out.
Yeah,
Wrong answer, Brandon. Wrong answer.
it did buzz me. No, in all seriousness though, she
Perfect timing.
yeah, it was. She did buy the guns with the father.
She did.
But is she as equally responsible as her son? Probably not, in my opinion, because she wasn't there. But I think she did buy these guns, and there were some text messages basically confirming that because he begged them basically to buy the weapons for him.
Do you think that when now their reasoning was also he could just target practice and all this?
Right.
I actually think that's why he wanted those guns because I feel like he might have had this.
I think he had it planned. I don't think he wanted those guns for just target practice. I mean, because if you go and look at his journal and look at things that he did beforehand prior to this, there were signs there.
I didn't read his journal, so talk about that a little bit. What signs was in his journal?
So he was talking about killing and torturing animals in his journal, and I'll quote part of it. He said, quote, I'm getting zero help for my mental problems, so I am going to go shoot up the fucking school, end quote.
Okay,
That's what he said.
All right, stop there. Did the mom or dad have any clue of the journal?
Now that I don't know because that never really did come out in the trial whether they did or they didn't.
Well, but it really tells us very clearly that even he knew he needed help.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think at that point he was making it so clear in just that sentence that I'm pretty sure with the amount of help, you're not telling me I'm wrong this time, driver. Shut up. That there's no way the parents couldn't have been aware of what was going on with him. I mean, I feel that he was even trying to give the signs he needed help, and nobody was doing it. You know, the parents were told that day, you need to get him a psychiatrist. It needs to happen now.
Well, not only that, they were shown a worksheet that he drew images of guns and people dying. And Jay just chimed in here. I'm looking at Chad. He basically said she provided the weapon to this kid knowing he was homicidal.
That's right. That's I was going with that very point next, Jay. You're right. Look, when you have a child and they are mentally unstable, they're not stable, they're completely unstable. The last thing you do is go out and buy them a gun. I don't
Nope.
care if they did want to hunt. I don't care if they did want to target you. I don't care what the reason is. There's no way. You know, I asked a man today. I said, if uh our son looked at you and said, "Will you buy me a gun for shooting?" At that age, at 14 years old, I'm going to say no. At 15, I'm going to say no. 16 and 17, I'm going to say no. At
Yep.
I'm going to leave it up to him. Right? Because at 18, it's out of your control. That
Here's another.
should not be held responsible.
Yeah, and here's another thing Jay just mentioned. He said it should have been up to the parents to. Let me see. What did he say? It's their jobs as parents to make sure he understood the responsibilities before giving him a firearm. I absolutely agree, and they failed in that responsibility.
I agree, Jay. And the thing is, you shouldn't own a pistol at 14, anyways. Maybe a hunter.
No.
Get your son that might be a hunter with his dad. You're talking about a big rifle. I mean, something that he'd have never walked in school with that.
Here's another thing, though, Johnny. I don't know if you heard about this part or not, but before they got his this gun. His grandpa had come up in July or June, and his grandfather, and his dad went to the gun range and rented some of these weapons for shooting. So clearly they knew about these guns.
Well, then that should have been good enough for him to be satisfied with being able to shoot a gun. Go somewhere with your parents where you're
Yeah.
allowed to do it, and then you can't take it home and you got nothing to worry about. Listen,
Yeah.
bottom line is this: I've done some extensive reading on this case. I've read a lot of stuff. The bottom line is this, folks: both parents need to be sitting in prison with involuntary manslaughter. Neither one of them
Yep.
getting any different charge because they both was aware enough to know that their child needed mental consolidating. Their son needed to be consolidated on what he was going through. Their son needed to be advised on what he was going through. And he never was. Why? Because the parents was too worried about their own problems. And something else that I've had time to sit back and think about. Someone had told me the other day after we had spoke, Brandon, that
Uh-huh.
parent cheating has nothing to do with it, but it does. Because it tells me as a as a psychologist, it tells me that the mother's priorities were nowhere where they needed to be.
Oh, they clearly weren't where they needed to be
It,
because she was having this affair.
when you got a kid that better be in the state of being responsible and doing things the right way. If she did want to be with somebody else or sleep with somebody else, she should have went about it a totally different way. Number
Yep.
one, should have got a divorce and took the right step to deal with that. Now, yeah, divorce would have not been easy on the kid neither. But at the same time, if she had been responsible like that, then other actions would have been taken and this would have never happened.
See, but Jay, you had responsible family, because he had just said he got his first firearm at 14, but he was very responsible and well
Right.
behaved and
You
knew how
said
to use it.
too. You were very responsible. Just me, I don't think that any kid should be given the privilege to own a pistol, rifle, or a shotgun. Yes, pistol. No, for hunting purposes. Sure, if you want to get your kid a pistol, instead of doing that, the father buys the pistol for himself and then takes his son out and lets him shoot it whenever he is shooting it.
Yeah.
A pistol is too easy to hide. So whenever someone gets upset, they have the ability to hide something like that, and then it become the worst day in the world.
And I want to know what happened to the dog because they had said in his trial that the dog died. And if you go look at a video that he had done where he was cocking and dry firing the gun, you see his dog just laying there.
Well, his dog was sick.
Ah.
I believe his dog was sick and his dog had died.
Mm-hmm.
But the boy was crying out for help. The
Clearly.
signs were there, and Jennifer nor the father did anything about it.
Well, the dad just basically told him to suck it up.
The day at the principal's office, they could have said, "Okay, we're going to skip work today. We're going to take him right now. We're going to figure out where we can go and get him immediate attention." Look, they got places where you don't even got to have an appointment with these psychologists, where you can walk in and say, "Look, my child is very unstable right now. He needs to see a psychiatrist," and then they'll pencil you in.
Right.
So there's no reason why any of that should have been skipped.
I just think the bottom line was the parents were very self-centered, only cared about what they wanted out of life, didn't really want to have anything to do with their son or any of his problems. And here's the tragic results of that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a horrible situation. It is. Hi, honey. It's horrible. You know, our kids wasn't perfect,
No,
but
they were demons.
but they were still good kids, and we still wouldn't have bought them a handgun. Why do you buy a child a handgun?
No, tell them what they did. They couldn't even have a BB gun.
Listen, our two boys had a BB gun. Okay, let me talk to you about responsibility for a minute. Our two boys had a BB gun.
And they were 10, both of them.
Yes, here.
No, you can tell.
You want me to? Okay, they were 10 years old, right? 10, and they decide together, hey, let's do some target shooting with the BB gun. Like, okay, and they both say, hey, get a pop can over there. Okay, I'll get the pop can. Now I got an idea. Let me hold the pop can and see how good your shooting is. And the one son, Jordan, ended up in surgery an hour later because he had a BB too deep into his finger from holding.
Was it the hour later?
Was it not? Was it?
No, it was like a week later. And take him to surgery.
Oh, you're right. It didn't. We didn't. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I know I'm right.
Yeah, because we didn't know about it at first until they finally confessed because Jordan knew he had something in his finger and didn't know what to do about it.
Yeah.
So he had to have surgery. So that should be, a clear of, you just don't give a 14-year-old boy a pistol. And here's if there was any sense to getting a pistol, okay, fine. Why did you need two of them?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
I mean, Jay, you said that your parents had bought you a gun when you was 14. It wasn't no pistol, though, was it?
It was actually a rifle.
Yeah, so it was a rifle. Again, the more you put everything together, it's like, you know what? There is a level of parenting skills that you should have. And if you don't have them, you need to get them. And if you can't get them, that's what happens.
Yep.
When your child is suffering from being mentally ill and you don't even notice it, don't even try that. What parent would listen? At any time if something was wrong with our kids, we would know about it.
Absolutely.
But now Jennifer is what? Going to go in there and play victim? You think you're the victim?
Oh yeah, she tried that, crying during the trial, and just like, yeah, you're not the victim here.
All I can say is, cry me a river and build me a bridge to walk across your BS. Because
yep,
I call BS on all of it.
Oh, it was. I was just.
Next question for y'all. We're going to be coming up to another trial. I don't know when it's going to be. And it's going to be the father going on trial.
I think it's in 3 weeks from now, I believe.
So, this trial is going to go exactly like the last one. They're going to do a lot of the same stuff in this trial. Considering, I don't even think it'll last as long with the father.
No.
Than what it lasted with Jennifer.
And really, hers didn't even last that long. I thought it was going to go for maybe a week, two.
No, it started when?
It started about a week ago on a Friday.
I was thinking it's been almost 2 weeks.
No, it was a week ago from last Friday. It was only 7 days.
Should have been around. No, it was about 11 days.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Today's Tuesday.
Yeah.
So this past Friday and the Friday before. Well, Friday to Friday is 1 week right there.
Right.
And you got Saturday, Sunday. Monday was when they. Well, Monday technically when it ended, wasn't it? Well, no, today was.
Yeah. Well, today was the verdict, but.
Well, that's when it ends. I mean, it don't end till it's out. So, anyways, a little over a week. I don't. It might last that long because they still got to go out with all the evidence again.
Right.
You know, they got to see, do they have the same kind of messages between the father and the son? Did the son, maybe the son or the father, maybe, who knows? Maybe he didn't know as much as the mother. We don't know.
Yeah, we really don't know much about the father at all.
Till we see the messages. That's going to tell a lot. Did the son and father talk as much as the mother and the son?
Yeah, I'm going to be interested to find that out myself. And I'm wondering what kind of arguments. I'm hoping the prosecution does a better job at this trial for the father. Yeah. And trying to stick to relevant points.
I mean, I think that the prosecution did decent because if they had not done, if they'd done that bad, then
they wouldn't have gotten a guilty verdict.
The verdict would have never came out to be what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, can you use them paper plates in the microwave or no? What's your thoughts on the father, Brandon?
I don't know much about the father to really have an opinion about him, but I think that he was as self-centered as the mom was.
Okay, now let me ask you something. I'm going to ask questions because, number one, I'm pretty much from being finally finished with psychology, but I got to ask you these questions of, whenever I do help David. Let me ask you, though, what makes you say that about him?
Well, simply for the fact there was a text message the mom had sent to him when she was on her way to the school that morning saying, something emergency, call me back. I'm going to the school because something's with Ethan. And he simply says, instead of saying what any normal father would say was, what's going on? He basically put WTF. Like he really didn't care about the situation.
No, and I'm not saying you could be right. He might be a dirtbag, but maybe not because sometimes when depending on your mood, who knows?
True.
At this point, to know, like I've seen too many relationships with parents where one parent is much better than the other, right?
Yeah.
So, and I'm not saying that he is because he very well could have known just as much as what she knew. Who knows?
Yeah.
At this point, I can't really, unless someone could, put something out in front of me that said a little bit more about who he was. I can't personally say, hey, this guy's dirt,
Right.
because you know. Let me give you a good example of something that I went through before as a parent. My daughter, at the age of, I'm going to say she was about 4,
Mm-hmm.
lived in Toledo, Ohio. We lived in Toledo, Ohio. Lived on uh, the east side of Toledo, on one of the worst streets that you could live on. Well, maybe not the worst, but it's pretty rough on East Broadway over there. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, this street was always traffic constantly, foot traffic and vehicle traffic,
Right.
gangbangers, prostitutes, you name it. Spitters, sputters, and puffers. I mean, I don't know. Just all kinds of bad stuff on that street.
Right.
Anyway, it was me. I was at home, and the kids were home. At the time, um, my wife was at work, and my mother-in-law, was at home with me.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, hey, Jane Doe. I'm not going to say her name. So I said, Doe, I'm going to take a shower. Can you watch the kids while I shower? Yeah, okay, that's fine. I'll watch them. So I get in the shower, and then I get out of the shower. When I was doing something, anyway, well, I forget what I was doing, but 10 minutes went by, and I'm like, Kinsey already in bed. So I went in to look in the bed. No. And I says, hey, where's Kinsey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't know. She's in the other room or something, I guess. No, she wasn't. She had used a chair to unlock the towel lock on the door and went walking down East Broadway at 9 o'clock at night.
Oh.
I ended up facing charges because apparently it was my fault that she got out. And if I'd had money back then, I'd have got a lawyer, and I would have beat it big time, because
Yeah.
what was I going to do? I was in the shower, right?
Exactly.
And but that judge is like, no, you're the parent. It's your fault, even though someone was there to watch the kids. Now,
Yeah.
that's why I say you can have a good parent and have bad things happen.
Right.
But this is a totally different scenario, obviously.
Yeah.
Still, yeah, I ended up getting like 30 hours of parenting classes or something like that. I forget what it was. And I had a public defender. So it was no fun. But I'm wondering why the judge didn't do the sentencing today.
I'm wondering that myself, actually. I've been thinking about that all day. I don't understand why she didn't do it today.
Why April?
That's what I want to know.
I mean, I understand they can file appeals and all this, but usually you see the charges come out the same day.
Yeah.
But she provided the weapon knowing the kid was homicidal. That's right.
Yeah.
I'm just. Okay, Jay. unfortunately, it's unfortunate how it had to go down because not only did families lose their loved ones, but you know, I'm not saying that it's good what this boy did, but outside of that, this kid lost his whole life
Yeah, he did.
over neglect. It's a simple word, folks. Neglect.
Yep.
The parents neglected to help their son at his darkest hours, his deepest moments, and they done nothing about it. Besides the father,
They spent a lot of time out drinking too. That came out as well.
both parents they both was drinkers.
Yep.
Okay. I thought the mother was the one that was the alcoholic.
Oh no, it was both of them. They were both equally as guilty of being alcoholics. They spent a lot of time at the bar.
Sorry guys, I'm feeding my face. I'm eating a Whopper here.
Oh man, I love Whoppers.
Mm. Well, you can now get a double Big Mac.
Oh wow.
So it's instead of 2 patties, you get 4 patties.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's giant. But I don't know. I used to love Big Macs, but they're just not my thing like they used to be.
Yeah, McDonald's flavor has changed, honestly. Like, they're not as good as they used to be.
Now, like Amanda said, when it comes to their pickles between McDonald's or Burger King, I'd go McDonald's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Would you go to bed, hon?
I guess you did.
All right, baby. I love you. Yeah, we went to Whoppers today at Burger King, and she gets coupons all the time.
Nice.
So, we decided that, hey, forget cooking. Let's just go and let's go buy our food today.
There you go.
So that's what we did. I don't know, guys. Um, Next question for you guys, you too, Brandon.
Yep.
What do you think her sentence is going to be?
I think she's going to get the max. I think she's going to get the maximum of 60 years.
Jay, what do you think? Now, remember, guys, the max for involuntary manslaughter, Brandon, you know what that is?
For her, it would be 60 years.
No. I'm saying for one charge of involuntary manslaughter, what's the max?
I would probably say at least 15 years.
So they're going to double stack it, and I think she's going to be in prison the rest of her life. Is what I
Oh, I
think.
do too. She's 45 now. Yeah, I think she's 45. So yeah, she'll definitely be in for life.
Is the father in jail right now, or is he out on bond?
No, he's in jail.
So they didn't give him no bond?
No, I don't believe so.
Well,
Probably because maybe he might be a flight risk.
Yeah, I'm curious. Well, I'll have to look into that. I'm curious. But usually, when you go to jail for murder, you don't get a bond, and if you
Yeah.
did so high, you couldn't afford it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking my sandwich apart, guys, because I hate getting my hands messy.
Oh, I know it.
I hate that. But I don't know. Um, the more that I got to sit back and think about everything, I think I would agree with the verdict.
Yeah, I agree with it too. Because clearly she knew and didn't do anything about it. She neglected her son.
Well, I know. Um, I know the one day me and you was kind of in the air with things,
Yeah.
but I've done a lot of reading since then, and there's nothing that tells me that she should walk away from this.
Yeah.
I mean, murder is murder, right?
Exactly.
But innocent children, and now these families has got to go for the rest of their life of only wondering how their children's futures would have been.
Mm-hmm.
They don't get to say goodnight, I love you. They don't get to even write a letter to their son in prison. They don't get to make a phone call. So, all you people out there that want to sit there and say that Jennifer does not deserve to be in prison, I would like to just remind you and just ask you to put yourself in put yourself in the victim's shoes, the victim's family shoes. Put yourself there for a minute and ask yourself that same question again. Put yourself in the prosecutor's chair for a minute. You know, the one thing that I know is it is very easy for people to have anger for a prosecutor. Very easy. And to hate the prosecutor. Very easy. And to think that a prosecutor doesn't care and blah, 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 blah. The prosecutor did exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah, exactly. They did their job and they did it well.
They gave every little. Some would say, well, why'd the prosecutor bring that up? Or why'd the prosecutor talk about this? They didn't want to miss anything, so they covered everything. And I've always said that when you're in court and you're getting ready to handle a case like that, if there's anything foggy about, about the defendant, then cover everything about them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Brandon, you know how in the past we won't say dates or nothing, but you know how I done things.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Cover everything. You cover every.
Absolutely everything.
Leave nothing out. Nothing. That way, the full picture is being delivered.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. JJ. Okay. Oh, that's Josh. I guess that's the last message that
Yeah, it is.
Okay. Um, I don't know. I think that it came out the way it should have. I do. Um, this boy is going to sit in basically child prison until he gets to be an adult, and then he'll be transferred to the big prison
Yep.
where he'll spend the rest of his time. I don't know his full sentencing. What was his name?
Ethan.
Ethan Crumbley, right?
Yeah.
Hey Google, what was Ethan Crumbley charged with on his trial? Of course you don't.
Let me ask. Computer, what was Ethan Crumbley charged with? Oh, none of my stuff will do it either. Okay.
Hey Google, what was the verdict on Ethan Crumbley's case? Oh, I hate when it does that. Anyway, I'm curious what he got. Does anybody know, Jay? Do you know what Ethan got charged? Did he get charged life? Did he get charged? I'm just curious if one of the viewers could help me out with that.
I know he got sentenced to life without parole.
Oh, so he did get sentenced to life without parole.
Yes.
Hey Google, go home. She gets on my nerves sometimes. Okay, well, answer my question. Hey Google, be quiet.
I hate when it does that. Mine does it too.
Yeah. But yeah, that's what I was wondering is what the time was that they gave him.
Yeah, he's not going anywhere.
It's very interesting. Um, that his charges came down to that. Now I knew a guy. I forget his last name. Um, but uh, his first name was Josh. No, I'm being serious. The first name was Josh, and he lived down the road from me when I was a kid.
Oh.
And he had killed his grandparents.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess he went through some really bad stuff there. The way they lived was very nasty. Like there was human feces on the walls, and it was nasty.
Yeah.
And he would get beat on with the belt. He would get sexually assaulted. The list goes on and on and on. But I can tell you today he's walking.
Mm-hmm.
He's free today. He's free.
I remember you told me this story a while back. Didn't you say he had moved out of the state and moved somewhere else because he didn't want to be in any part of the state because of what happened?
Yeah, he purposely had, said, I'm not going to continue to live in Indiana when I get out. So yeah, he went to a completely different state.
I wouldn't blame him.
Yeah. But again, I'm surprised that he did get out because killed two people.
Yeah.
But he managed to get out on good behavior. And he did go through some really bad assault. So maybe that was considered. Who knows? But now, do I think that Ethan Crumbley will get the same thing? Probably not.
No, I don't think
Because he did kill four other children. So
yeah.
And it was nothing like this other case I'm telling you about because, like I said, this guy was he was sexually abused by his grandparents, and they just, whenever they would want something sexual, they would just get it,
Mm-hmm.
which is awful. But I don't know. Life can definitely put a twist out there, folks. That's for
Oh,
sure.
I know.
I don't know. So when this next trial starts up, we'll try to cover that one too.
Yeah, I plan to watch that one too.
Josh, hope you're doing okay, buddy. But yeah, we'll keep everybody uh, up to date on anything new with those cases. Um, Even when we hear something different going on with Jennifer Crumbley as far as charges, I know there's going to be appeals out to Quadzulo,
Oh yeah.
but and you never know with them which way it goes. You never know. So, but Brandon, I appreciate you joining the stream.
Glad to be here.
I got to hit you up out of the stream because there's another stream that I'm wanting to do. It's going to be on the other channel, and I'll tell you what it's going to be about. Not tonight, clearly.
Yeah.
Maybe tomorrow night. But Josh, you and Brandon, matter of fact, if you guys want to join it, well, I'll call you about it, Brandon. But if so, you guys could just meet on the server, and then we all three could just go on the stream like that. So, because I think, yeah, Josh's account's set up now. He was having trouble getting. He could get on, but he couldn't hear nothing, or you couldn't hear him at all.
Yeah.
I think he fixed the problem. So, anyways, good times, you guys. If you're watching this at a later time and you got your opinion you want to share about this case, maybe there's something that we don't know. Maybe there's something that was said that we missed. Whatever the case might be, you can always leave your comments down below in the comments section. Please be respectful and keep in mind there are innocent people that suffered from this entire trial. So please keep that in mind. I know the trolls will do what trolls do. And with that said, ignore some stuff that comes through because you just never know. Otherwise, be sure to share with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, or X, as they call it now. That's the dumbest name.
I hate that name.
I
I
do too.
refuse to call it that.
I don't know why they call it X. And be sure to hit the subscribe button if you ain't joined us yet here on the lounge as a subscriber. Like I said, tell your friends about it. Set your notifications to always so you're notified each and every time that we go live. And I always enjoy doing the live streams here. There's a hold on. There's a lot of times when it's Brandon with us, which is fun because he enjoys these conversations. Yeah, I don't know
Oh
what's
yeah.
up with not getting many viewers on the lounge here lately, but we do got to get back out there again to people, and that might take a minute, but that's okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there. Josh, you're our only viewer right now. You should feel very privileged.
He is.
But I think we're going to do a stream talking about Eurofly and First Officer next. So that should be interesting. Josh, I know you wanted to be a part of it. The one day when I was going to do it, and Brandon can still offer some good thoughts on it, even if he's not flying at the moment. But y'all will be here soon. Just got to have some patience. It's just one of them semesters where everything is just a
Oh
jam.
yeah.
So
Yep.
be patient, and things are coming your all's way. So otherwise, Brandon, I'll talk to you in a bit. Josh,
All right.
keep it real, and yeah, until next time, y'all take care, and we'll talk to you soon.